bills yet. We've seen the concepts yet. So it's hard to say what needs to be done, but just my observation, it's a start. It's not an end point, and if it turns out to be legislation I can support, I will. But at the end of the day, just from my reading and what they're doing, or what they're going to be proposing, is that it will not be enough. But we have to start someplace, and this may be a good place to start.
I have a couple. So Fitzgerald wants a tax cut. Do you think that's a good idea for the state?
Well, it's premature to even talk about that. I mean, he's assuming we're going to have a surplus, and frankly, even if there is a surplus, I don't think it'll be that much. But it's difficult to say that this is that we're going to be in that position. Even if we are, a one-time influx of money to pay down property taxes for 1 year, what's going to happen going forward? I think we've established, and Republicans and Democrats established years ago, that having a rainy day fund is very important to make sure that we're solid if there's a recession or a slowdown in the economy. I think that's probably the wisest place to do it. But the main thing, it's premature to even make a thought about that, because we don't know it exists. Yes?
Governor, thoughts on the bill of the GOP bill to make English the official language of the state?
Yeah, I think that will not pass my desk. I'm not sure it'll pass. Clearly, we are a diverse state, and we speak many languages, and to me, a bill like that is a solution seeking a problem. I don't know what problem it solves other than to offend some people, and I don't think that's our business.
We've got time for 2 more.
So I just wanted to follow up on the water quality issue, if we could. So understanding that it's we don't have all the details. What are some ways that you think what we know about it may fall short? Like, in what ways?
Yeah, it doesn't address PFAS and it doesn't address lead. 2 huge issues. And is it a start in some areas? Yes, it is. But people in the state are concerned about PFAS, and they should be. I know we don't know everything about them, but we know enough about them that people should be concerned. And lead is obviously an issue, and for especially little kids. And if I had children, I have lots of young grandchildren, having them consume water that is either PFAS contaminated or lead contaminated, that's scared the living hell out of me, frankly. Yes.
Any thoughts on the president coming to Milwaukee and Laura coming to Rib Mountain?
The interesting thing about the president coming to Milwaukee, they're coming at the same time as the Bucks are playing in Fiserv Arena, so there'll be lots of people there, and it'll be something. But I always welcome any president, no matter who he or she is and whichever party. So it is what it is. National politics are sometimes a circus, and this may be part of that circus. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yes.
You mentioned kind of a lack of frustration over the number of days that the legislature's been in session. Of course, this comes on the heels of you calling a special session for gun control that was gavelled in and out. I know you said you're not against multiple sessions. Any plans to do that again here in 2020?
We're still weighing that option, but here's my level of frustration. I want Senator Urkenbach to talk about this too. When we refuse to take up issues, how do the people back home know how their legislators would vote on something if they never get a chance to vote on it? I'll use Medicaid expansion as an example. There are Republicans that support that, but if they're never allowed to vote on it, that makes it difficult for me to understand how that's good for democracy, frankly. And it is the way that the leadership wants to, in the legislative world, wants to operate. But to me, I think they're shortchanging the people and their voters also.
I'm going to be just a tad bit less diplomatic than the governor. The governor's got his hands full because he's working with a group of people who feel their only responsibility is to say no to whatever the governor wants. And what the governor is proposing is what Wisconsinites want. The issue of gun safety, if you take a look at the number of people who support common sense gun safety laws, it's overwhelming. Yet at the same time, the Republicans gavelled in and gavelled out, which says more, it's more reflective upon them for them ignoring and turning their backs on what a majority of Wisconsinites want. The issue with Scott Fitzgerald and the tax cut, he's running for Congress. So Scott is going to throw things out there like, yeah, we need a tax cut right away. And the governor's absolutely right. One-time tax cut doesn't do an awful lot of good for the overall economy and opportunity here in Wisconsin. And Scott's job also, to make it through a Republican primary if he has one, is to obstruct a Democratic governor as best as he possibly can, so he can kind of thump his chest and say, see, I told you so. At the end of the day, that doesn't do anything to create greater opportunity for everybody here in Wisconsin from one end of the state to the other. That doesn't do anything about Medicaid expansion, doesn't do anything about medical marijuana, doesn't do anything about broadband expansion. So the governor's job, he's in a tough spot right now. And about all he can do is call us into special session to really shine a spotlight on what Wisconsinites elected him to do. And hopefully we'll be successful on the issues of gun safety or the issue of Medicaid expansion or medical marijuana, and the list goes on. So he's really good at what he does. He's extremely diplomatic, and his job is to work with whoever got elected there. And I think he's doing the best job that he possibly can right now to shine a light on the issues that he ran on and that Wisconsinite support.
That's great. One
Thank
more-
you, Ready?
One more question?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody, yes? You guys
So your
have-
calendar shows that you recently met with Robin Voss for about an hour. Can you tell us what you guys talked about?
Sure, I talked about exactly what we talked about today, the list of bills that are, I met with Senator Fitzgerald also recently, and we talked about the bills that are already existing, that some of them, many of them have bipartisan support. Let's get this done. And we just had a conversation about that. There were no commitments on his part. Good, thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.